I'm in a bit of a food crisis right now. You might not think so because I have 13 bread and an extra 2 stacks of bread in my personal shulker box here. However, the way that I got those pieces of bread were a little bit interesting. I basically just went to a bunch of different villages here, and I believe one more over here. Yeah, and I just harvested all their hay bales. We do have a greenhouse over there that we made in an earlier episode, and whilst I think it serves a function in the story of that village, as far as actual functionality for me, it's just not keeping up. So today we're going to be making a village here. Now we're going to be making it kind of in the same theme of the village up there. We're going to once again do mango. I'm going to use a different stone block, and I think you guys will like it, so you guys will see that in a few minutes. So the plan is we're going to make roughly 8 villager houses on this island, and they're going to all be home to farmer villagers because farmer villagers can actually sell food. However, if we make our way over to this side of the little river thing here, you can actually see I dug out this little section right here because right here we are going to be making an automatic melon farm. And that's actually probably what we're going to start off with first, to be honest. If we start off with the melon farm and make it automatic, then as we build this section here, we should hopefully get a little bit of melons working in the background here. Now, the idea is that the actual melon farm is going to go a little bit further in than this. This right here is kind of just going to be what we're going to use to decorate the area with. So in the story of the village, the villagers come over here to trade, and I'll just come over here and then walk back over there for it. We're going to have like 2 barrels right here that we'll actually go and grab the stuff from. So that's kind of the rough idea. Now, like I said, I do want to get started on the actual farm over there. That way we can have it running in the background. However, if I quickly look at my redstone shulker box here, you can see that I don't have that much stuff. Aside from the auto crafter and whatnot, what we're going to need most of is pistons and observers. And as you can see, we only have 5. So I'm going to quickly go ahead and get myself about a stack of each. I don't know if we're going to do a full like 64 in there, but I'm going to quickly go ahead and get that. And then the other thing I'm going to go ahead and get as well is I only have about 17 melon seeds, which is a good start, but we're going to need a lot more. I will be back once I have more of everything that we need. Alrighty, so I believe I have everything that we need. So what I think we're going to start off by doing is we're going to make this entire section 4 tall here just to be a little bit on the safe side. And then we're going to quickly dig this back a couple blocks. I'm not too sure how far back. So then we're going to put a crafter facing into this barrel here. Now, reminder that we are going to kind of have a wall here. So I'm going to put this temporarily dirt wall here just for reference with the redstone. So the way that we're going to do this is we're going to place another crafter right here. I don't think it matters, but I like to face it this way. Inside of this crafter, we need to click all of these slots here. Then we're going to grab a comparator and place this part here, I believe. Yeah, so we're going to want to place it with these 2 facing into the crafter. And then we're going to do another one right here, I believe, like so. So the way that this one works, if I understand this correctly, is that this crafter right here, which will actually do the crafting, won't actually craft until all 9 is full. And that's because this comparator right here is detecting that all of these are full. So all of these have to be full before it crafts. Any redstone experts in the comment can let me know if I explained that wrong, but that's the basic summary, I think. And then what we're going to want to do is place 2 pieces of dirt here. It could be any block. I just only have dirt on me. And then if we place redstone here and place one on the top like so, then what we should be able to do is if we place stuff over here, so we can probably have the actual like collection system go to here. What should happen is if we place melons right here, so we're only going to place 9 melons in there for now. That should create 1 block. So this should go into here. And then if we quickly come here, you can see it is filling up and then only crafts when there is all full. And there we go. We have our first melon. So now we can get rid of this wall here because like I said, we are going to be decorating this and we really only need this block to be here. Like I said, this is where we're going to be collecting all of the melons, of course. But now it's time to do the actual farming bit because this is where it's going to get quite interesting. Now, what we're actually going to do just beforehand, really quick. If you guys have seen my channels before, you guys know what we're going to be making. We are going to be making ourselves a rail duper. So the reason why we're making a rail duper is because we actually want to use rails because minecart hoppers can actually pick stuff up from underneath a full block. So the idea is we're going to basically have a rail track with 1, maybe 2 lines, I'm not too sure yet, of hoppers. Instead of having like so many hoppers, we're just going to have 1 line of hoppers with rails going over it. And then that way it's just going to constantly pick stuff up. So it'll go all the way around in circles, which will be quite nice. But that's for a few minutes. We're actually going to quickly make the rail duper. So if I remember correctly, we need to be facing south it is, I believe. So we're going to quickly do to 2 blocks like so. Lever there, redstone dust here. We're going to put the piston there with 2 slime blocks, and then we're going to put an observer facing the slime. And then we're going to start off with some of the powered rails first, because we don't need that many normal rails. So that should be duping them, and there we go. That should be more than enough for now. If we need to make more, we can obviously just quickly make this farm once again. So what we're going to do is make 1 line here of hoppers like so. And then I'm kind of thinking, do I want to do another 2 layers here? I kind of am thinking maybe we do just a little bit more. I was only going to do 1 here, but if we have 3, that's just less time that we have to wait for it to start crafting. So I guess it is worth it. Now, if I'm going to, I think that the actual farm will end off right around here. So what we're going to do is for now, we'll leave this here so that I can still get by. But the actual farm will just kind of go through here. So that's kind of how this is going to work. And then what we're going to do is we're going to place just basically a bunch of cobblestone right here. And then we're going to just get started with the rails, basically. Okay, so here is where it loops back around. So we loop back around this way, and then it goes all the way around, and then eventually gets to here, where it goes all the way around here, all the way around this way, and then loops back right there. So that's basically how it's going to work. We did have to add an extra line here, but honestly, that's a-okay. And then actually at this point here, we are going to get rid of the torches because we do not need these for now. And we're actually going to temporarily place these in the top corners. And then now at this point here, what we need to do is place a layer of dirt here, because this is where we're actually going to have the farm going. So actually, I was wrong. We actually want to put the glowstone right here because this is probably going to end up getting covered. So yeah, we're going to want to do that really quick. Okay, so I want this room to have plenty of light. Now, what we're going to go ahead and do is, I think, yeah, so if we place 1 here, if we did like water here, for example, oh no, we wouldn't want to do there. No, wait. So water spreads 4 blocks. So what we want to try and do is maximize where we can place it. So if we place 1 here, then that should go to the corner. That should deal with everything over here. So if we waterlog that, before we do anything too crazy, let's actually quickly try and, hoe all these down. You know, now that I think about it, I actually don't know what this is called. Is this like tilling the land or something? Like, I don't actually know. And look at that. Wow, that is going very fast. And then if we just go again, 1, 2, 3, 4. So right here, we should need to do another one. And then that should actually be it. So I actually lied. So I know that we have all these spots here, but we're actually going to do kind of a checkerboard pattern like this, because we're not actually going to tilt all this down, because the way that melons work is they place 1 here, but then that's just the stem. They grow on each of these blocks. So we're going to have to create a checkerboard pattern like this. Okay, now this should be good. Now what we need to do is I might start off by planting these down. I think that that's a good idea. Let me quickly get out really quick, because what I forgot to grab is the observers and the pistons, and we're probably going to need some redstone too. Okay, so if I put myself into crawling position here, what we're going to want to do is, okay, so I think it is actually better for us if we put the melon seeds down. So if we go from the top up here, we can actually just do something kind of like this. Okay, and then from here, I think it's actually best if we go underneath again. And if we just hold crouch, we can place these down. And I believe that that is every single piston in place. Okay, so we're going to quickly make our way back over here really quick. And then I believe all that we really need to do is connect these pieces here. I don't know if that will work or not, because what happens is if we connect everything up, then if one activates, then all of them activate, which I don't know if we want necessarily. Okay, so what should happen is if I bone meal this, then that should be detecting a change, which it's not. Okay, so I do think we have to connect everything together, which is a little bit unfortunate. I would have liked to save some redstone, but I guess it works. Unless I put it on the wrong one, maybe I have to put it on this piece instead. So let me try with this one here. So if I can see the thing, which is right here. Oh, so I just put it on the wrong one. Okay, that's my bad. So we have to put it on all of the observers instead. Honestly, I'm kind of glad that I found that mistake, because I did not have enough redstone, I don't think, to actually connect everything all up. So that is very good. And then let me try really quick. Let's put the thing right there. That should honestly be the farm. All that we really need to do is quickly clear out all of this. And all that, look at that. We're already getting stuff. Look at that. Wow, that's already working. Honestly, that took a little bit longer than I was expecting. But honestly, it's okay because at the end of the day, it now works. So what I'm going to go ahead and do really quick is just clean everything up really quick. So I'm going to clean up my shulker boxes because they're kind of a mess, clean up my inventory, get rid of this beacon, and then we're going to start the actual building. We're going to start off by decorating this area first, and then we'll do the actual villages over here. I am back. Now, to be honest, it's been a couple of days since I recorded the last part. I've just been very, very busy, so I don't exactly know how long I AFK'd this area for, but if we quickly look in our barrel right here, we can see that we have a decent bit of melons here. Okay, I'm gonna assume that this is from me AFKing for maybe 3 to 4 hours. This is based off of previous history, but more importantly, I actually think that that's enough for us to start decorating this area because I might want to end up using those, though I'm not 100% sure. So I have a couple of blocks that I would like to use both for the area over there and for the village part over here. Making its grand return once again, we have the mangrove wood, which we're actually going to be using the stripped mangrove wood here, so we are going to be stripping most of these, kind of similar to what we've been doing up there. Unlike this village up here, where we kind of have each half of the village has multiple different blocks, so we have like deep slate bricks and deep slate tiles here, or sorry, normal deep slate and then deep slate tiles here, and the tough bricks here. Instead, for this town, I want to use just one block, one stone block, but it's not actually a stone block, it's from a different biome. I don't know why I struggled so much to introduce this block, but the block that we're going to be using is blackstone. More importantly, blackstone or polished blackstone bricks, which look like this, which combined with the stripped mangrove, we get this kind of look here, which I really, really like. The village down here is going to be a lot simpler than the one that we have up there, so it's not going to be too kind of noisy with different blocks, so it'll be a little bit more simple, kind of more of a back to basics kind of build. But honestly, that's kind of the vibe that I want to go for here, kind of low key, kind of like small little village here, which is kind of what I want. So that's kind of the plan for today. So what I think I want to start off by doing is I want to get rid of this little pillar here, because I think I want to start off by wrapping this entire thing around with the mangrove wood, and then I might actually just get rid of a small little section here just like that. It opens up this area just a little bit more, but we also get to see the two sides of the wood here, which is really what I want. So what if we start off with something like that? I actually kind of don't mind that. Now, would it be bad if we put mangrove doors here? If we replace these two with mangrove planks, if we put a door right here on, maybe we could do on each side. So maybe we do like on each side, we do a door there. I think that that could potentially work. I don't know. And then we could do some of the blackstone bricks here, right? We can kind of start up by doing something like this. See, that's not bad. I don't mind it, but I almost kind of want this to be a little bit more special. I feel like this is just a little bit not special. So if we were to get a sign, and maybe we can get some of these here. So maybe we can create something kind of interesting right here. Maybe if we do something kind of like this, and then put, I guess we could have kept that there actually, but maybe we do like that there maybe. Or actually, what if we put a sign right here? We could just put like melons right here, for example, and then if we glowing sack this, then oh wow, that's the first time I've ever done that. Hey, look at that. We do things every day here. And then what we could do is do maybe something kind of like this, where we kind of go here. Maybe we can actually do something where we actually have the lantern coming right above this. So then maybe up here we could put stairs upside down like that. Honestly, I don't mind that. And then maybe what we can do is if we build up here, maybe we can connect it like so. So I wonder how it would look if we actually did something kind of like this. So if we made those stairs go to the side, and then if we put slabs over here, would that actually look good? Okay, I think we're getting somewhere. I think we just need to do a little bit more work. I'm not loving how empty this area feels like here. You know what I'm saying? I also think I'm going to replace all of this with grass here. Or maybe we should replace this as well. Maybe that's what we could do as well. So maybe we do mangrove wood on the outside, and then we grab some of these blackstone bricks maybe to put it in the middle here, and then we can kind of get more of that effect here. You see, I don't mind that, but I don't love how it looks like this kind of is flowing into the ground here. So maybe we can replace this. I wonder if we have any other blackstone variants that could actually be used here instead. So we have some chiseled blackstone, which could actually be kind of interesting. Okay, so what if we try doing something really quick here? So let me grab like 6 of these, and then let me grab a couple of these. How would it look if we did kind of like a mixture here, where we kind of just did like a little pattern in the ground here? I think for me it's different enough where the bricks doesn't look like it's just going into the ground here, but it's still similar enough that it fits the same vibe. So I actually kind of like this, and I like the stone, like the kind of face being in the ground here. I really like that for some reason. So maybe to fix our solution over here, maybe we can try doing something interesting with stairs maybe. Although I'm not entirely sure what we could do, because if we do 2 stairs there, then we can only do that. Maybe we can introduce some blackstone walls here, which actually could be kind of interesting. So if we just do something, see, I don't love how that goes to there though. That's the one thing. So if so, maybe we could make it go to, I wonder, could we make it go to like, oops, not there, but could we make this go to like here maybe? Okay, that's not bad actually. And then we can just bring this all the way up. I kind of don't mind that. Although, honestly, I feel like these blocks should maybe be replaced with some of these mangrove logs here. Okay, and this is going to be kind of random, but I wonder if we can try and incorporate some melons into here. But honestly, I think instead, I'm just probably going to do like a little stack of melons right here, honestly, instead. So speaking of this bridge, I actually kind of want to start working on it. So I think what we're going to do is do something like this for now. So I think I want it to be kind of that wide. I kind of want to do a mixture of the mangrove and the polished blackstone slab. So maybe we can start off by going here and then go here, potentially, like something like that. Okay, so something kind of like this I think could actually work. Now, honestly, this is kind of an interesting spot here because it's a little bit weird right here. So maybe what we can do is kind of just make these all go up to random heights potentially. And then maybe we just go over the top with the lanterns right here. Like we kind of put them on all of these ones up here. And I don't know, just the randomness of it all. Yeah, I definitely like it. Now, one thing that I would like to actually try before is what if on all of these bottom ones here, we tried replacing it with the blackstone walls. I actually really like that a lot more, I think. Alrighty, so my next step is going to be, I want to actually mark out where I want the houses to kind of go. So I want to try to not terraform at all. I don't want these houses to be too big. Honestly, kind of just something small like this. So I think we're going to do a 3 wide house here. So this is going to be 1. Actually, I'm just going to quickly connect it all using some of the polished blackstone. So I think this house I want to do kind of 2, and then maybe we do like a 4 by 3. So there's 4 here, but then 3 here. So I think that could be kind of cool. I want a house like right against this wall. So I think we're going to do one kind of like right here. So we'll do 3, and then we'll just kind of go all the way to the end. So maybe another 4 by 3, or maybe we make this a 4 by 4. No. We'll make this just an even 4 by 4. And then maybe we can fit a small one right here potentially. I think if we go to here, so if we make this like a 3 by 3, part of it is going to come off to the end, but I'm actually kind of okay with that. I think we can fit another one right here, kind of close by. I think we're going to go, maybe we go a 3 by 2. Maybe we make this like a really small house here. Alrighty, so I've raised up the houses by a couple of blocks, so I didn't do the same height for all of them. So some of these here, like this one, it goes up to 4 blocks high. Most of these actually go to 3. The reason for that is because some of these actually have a little bit on the side down here. So if I quickly look, so you can see one example kind of here, but another one is kind of like this one where I kind of want to look like it goes into the ground. So on the back side here, it looks a lot bigger than it actually is. So that's just kind of why I'm doing it like this. Alrighty, so each of these houses now have a door in them. So what I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to start by putting the roofs in place actually, because I really want to do that first. Now I'm going to use one house as an example. We'll do this house here because it's nice and easy to see. So what I'm going to kind of do is kind of do something similar to what we did up there, but not exactly the same. So we're going to do a mangrove bottom here. And then from here, I actually want to use some of the polished blackstone stairs. That way it's not the exact same block that we're using for the roof. And I'm just curious really quick from afar. Okay, yeah, I definitely do like that because it seems like it's part of the same variant and it's almost like a gradient, which is exactly what it is actually. But it's not exactly the same like detailing and texturing, which I really like, but it's still the same kind of color. So I definitely like this. And then up here, I think we'll just honestly top it off with another layer of the polished blackstone stairs. I think that's kind of okay. Before we used to try and incorporate some like mango wood going up to the top up here, but honestly, I kind of enjoy the simplicity of that right there, yeah. So I'm gonna quickly do that with all of the houses really quick. I'll be back in just a few moments. Okay, so this is really weird. This is the house that we did together, and as you can see, every other house quite literally has a little bit of a tipped roof right here. So this one, we obviously went the mango stairs, then 2 layers of the polished blackstone stairs here. I forgot the name of this for a second. And as you can see, it kind of just connects right here, except all of these other houses don't do that. So I could have gone with like either a 3rd layer or maybe like a slab of the polished blackstone instead or something like that. But instead I just opted for the mango slab instead because I just like the way that it looks. But I find it hilarious how the one house we actually do together doesn't have it, and then every other house that I do off camera does have the pointed tips. It's like, it's so weird. All right, really quick, the next step that I'm going to do is I am going to actually break the floors here, and I'm going to replace them with these mangrove slabs here. That way we have a little bit of the red kind of inside the house. Alrighty, so I think the next step is actually going to be get the villagers in, because if we do all of the decorations with the paths and whatnot, I'm going to want to decorate everything kind of like how we did over here with the trees, the little flowers and whatnot, and that might make it a lot harder to put the villagers in after. So if we quickly do it now before, you know, we do all the stuff, it would make it a lot easier for us. So unfortunately, I hate working with villagers, and I really don't want to say this, but I think it's time that we bring the villagers in. I just realized this took a full Minecraft day almost. I'm just now getting back home. Wow, wow, I really don't like villagers. And of course, as I say that, by the time I get back home, I realize that one of these villagers' boats here, this boat back here, got disconnected. Yeah, so now it's actually have taken a full Minecraft day as the moon, or as the sun is going down and the moon will shortly rise. Wow, this is going great, as you guys can tell. Alrighty, we have officially made it back. Now, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by doing these one at a time. What I mean by one at a time is I'm going to start off by trying to get a couple of these villagers to go inside of their houses. So because it's nighttime, what we should actually be able to do is if I quickly grab, I already have these here. So yeah, I have everything I need. I should be able to just bring these guys into here by placing a bed down right there. So for example, if I do that one there, and then let's do another bed like kind of in here, for example, then if we break this boat, these guys should be running to the nearest bed, which I actually have to get rid of my bed because I actually have my bed placed. So we need to get rid of this one back here so that each of these villagers go into the houses here. And they are not going into the houses. Maybe if I place the job block in there, they'll go in here. So like they'll see that as an opportunity. I believe I actually lost them. I don't know where those 2 villagers went. And they all just turned into zombies. Okay, this is just going swimmingly. So most of my villagers are gone now. The ones that I do have, I don't know where they're going. They should be going for the job blocks, but one's in the water over here is gonna drown. And I don't know where the other one is. Oh my gosh, villagers are so annoying. I technically could save them if they're just not gonna burn. So maybe what I can do is I might be able to brew a potion or 2 really quick to splash onto these guys. Okay, so this guy has a job block. Okay, let's see. Can we put this guy into here? Yes. Okay, he's in here at least. And then let's try and scoot this guy into here. Oh, he just walked in. Heck yeah. Okay. And brilliant. So now we have the 2 in here. So that's good at least. Now, all we really need to do is cure these guys over here. So I'm going to quickly go ahead and get the materials that I need to do that really quick. Hopefully it doesn't take me too long to do. All right, here we have the splash potion of weakness, and we have 3 golden apples, which conveniently I had 3 golden apples. I did not have to make any, which is very nice. So what we're going to do is splash this right here. They should all have the effect, and then I should be able to get all 3 of them. There we go. So now it's just a matter of making sure that these guys don't actually die again. Alright, so I actually quickly just did one small thing. So I brought them all to the mainland here. Hopefully they actually convert before it's nighttime. Oh, look at that. One of them already did. So the reason I did that is so that they don't get attacked by these guys here. So I can have a little bit better defense with these guys here. And then the next thing that I actually did, if you can see, I actually split these 2 guys up. And that's a good thing that I did because this guy converted, but this guy still hasn't right here. So this guy would have just immediately really eaten this guy once he converted. So that's one thing that I did. I think what I'm going to try and do really quick, oh, there's the second one right there. Okay, I'm going to try and boat this guy kind of just into his house at this point, rather than trying to do it the old-fashioned way where I let him wander in here and hope that he actually listens. I'm just going to bring him in here. And there we go. All three of them have been converted. So I'm just going to quickly do this for all three of them. I believe I saw a zombie sneak up in this area. I don't know where. Let me go looking around. Yes, okay, I was right. There is a zombie here. We might need to fence these guys in, and of course he converted. Wait, so he can reach that area? Oh my goodness, he can reach. Okay, I can quickly cure him. We're gonna have to probably fence this area in, but we could probably honestly do that with this layer here actually. So I'm gonna quickly as well make some fences, but for now I'm going to sleep. Now thankfully I still have 2 potions of weakness here, so I actually only took 1. The thing that sucks, however, is I don't actually have apples, and I don't know if these farmers can actually sell apples in their first trade. I could have sworn that farmer villages actually sold it, but regardless, I thankfully have a fortune hoe, and I just fortune down a tree somewhere in that direction, so I was able to get a couple. So I have 1 extra. So now let's quickly make this, and we're going to splash this guy as well. And then whilst we're doing that, I am going to fence this village in. So I actually wonder, before we start fencing this village in, would it look kind of cool if we did like a wraparound of the I kind of actually want to do the what are these called, the polished black stone. I wonder if we like wrap the entire thing. So we're going to be doing it like, for example, right here, but if we just did something like this, for example, and then here we decided to put the fence here kind of like this, would that look particularly bad? I don't think so, actually. Honestly, I do kind of like that. And then the only thing, we're gonna have to go in kind of 1, which I don't love doing. I kind of like having the gap here, but unfortunately, I mean, we could just put it there, but that doesn't look as clean. So yeah, I think we're gonna do this. Hey, this guy made it back. There we go. We missed you, my friend. And I finished the fence around here. The last thing that we're actually going to go ahead and do really quick is we're just going to add some stairs right there. And then right here, we're going to add a fence gate, and that way we can easily get in and get out. Now, I am going to have to fill in 1 more house, because I believe the only house that doesn't have a villager in it is this one right here, which again is a little bit unfortunate. I'm just going to do that later. I'm so tired with villages right now, but honestly, I want to quickly talk about the fence right here, because I'm not one for doing fences, as you can see. I don't think I've ever actually done a fence like this in this world, and honestly, I really like it. Honestly, it kind of separates the land naturally, honestly, because now you have like the village over here, and then you kind of just have like almost like a public walking space here, where like in theory anybody can come here and like explore and whatnot, and I really do enjoy it. And then I actually connected up the fence over here as well, so as you can see, we can still get in, still a little pathway down, but we can't get anything from over here or on the other side either. So what I'm going to quickly go ahead and do really quick is start the pathway, because like I said, I really want to have a path kind of continuing from this spot here. So honestly, I might actually get rid of these 2 here and then maybe turn these into there, because I think that would look a lot better. Yeah, having it like that there. Okay, we even have natural kitty cats spawning in this village. Man, this might just be my new favorite just because of that right there. Alrighty, I have finished the path here. So as you can see, we go through the gate here. We can come all the way through here. I forgot, I actually need to just quickly connect this house right to here, but there we go. We have a path going to here. We have one going all the way through this way, which then connects down here to this house, all the way to this house here, to this house, a little path going this way, which connects all the way to this back house over here. I was going to make a path kind of go around this way, but I kind of prefer you just going from the main town square area over here. So then you kind of go this way a little bit, and then you go 1 house here, 1 house back here. You go down through this little alleyway, which I kind of like that you actually, like, you hit your head here, so you have to go to the side a bit, and you come down here. We have 1 house here, which is the last one that we need to fill, and then you can come over here, the path to the actual melons, which, oh, I accidentally left some on the ground. Thankfully, they didn't despawn. We're going to connect over here. Oh, they didn't despawn. No, they just got spit out from the melons over here. Yeah, so we're just gonna quickly put these into here, and I think the final step, aside from me needing to replace the 1 villager off camera, is I'm gonna start off by doing the decorating, kind of like what I did in the last episode. So I'm gonna start off by doing some of the firefly bushes. I don't know if I'm gonna do the leaf litter just yet, but I do want to do some of the bushes as well here. And in case you guys didn't see the last episode, I like to start off doing the bushes and the firefly bushes first, because when we go into bone meal to get the normal grass, it can bone meal around it. So instead of needing to bone meal the grass, then break the grass to replace it with that, if we just place this around, it'll bone meal around that as well. Okay, it's starting to come together. Next, I'm going to put in some of these petals here, the wildflowers, which I might need to go get more of these. Alrighty, this is looking very, very nice. But the last step, obviously, as you can tell from my hand, is I want to place some of these trees around. So I think we're going to try and place them kind of like these here. These obviously give us a little bit of a particle effect. I think that it is going to be pretty cool. And then we also are going to bone meal the ground as well. I just think it will look very, very nice as well. Alrighty, it is time for the moment of truth, ladies and gentlemen. I have finished putting in all of the trees and the decorations that I think I will enjoy. Let's go ahead and see what it looks like from afar together. I've seen it up close. I haven't seen it far, so we're going to be experiencing this together. 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Okay, I actually really like that. So a couple of the trees that we've bone mealed actually came with some bees here as well, which I actually, in my latest live stream when we were decorating a little bit more on that part of the town, we actually did add in some manual beehives here, and here they actually spawn in naturally, which is even better. Alrighty, that is going to be the building for today's episode. All that I need to do off camera is replace the villager that died, and then I need to unlock the melon trade with all of these villagers here so that I can actually use the melon farm that we made in the first quarter of this video or something like that. So I'm very excited. But with that being said, that is going to be it for today's episode here of G1's Adventure. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, consider leaving a like and smashing that subscribe button. We just recently hit 500 subscribers. I'm hoping we can get to 600 by the end of this year. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one.